Life has many stories. Here's one that might just change how you see yours. We all know what overreaction looks like. But have you ever asked, why do they respond like that? Or even better, have you ever wondered, why did I explode like that? There's this popular saying that goes, people overreact when they're going through something. But truth is, going through something isn't always about stress or hardship. Sometimes, what people are really going through is regret. Regret that they let something slide. Regret that they looked soft in the face of disrespect. Regret that someone got away with what they should have been called out for. And that regret, it festers into frustration. And frustration fuels the flame we call overreaction. Let me tell you what happened with my mom recently. There's this man in our neighborhood. One of those characters everyone sees as a bit silly, unserious. He drinks a little too often, makes weird jokes, and comes off as harmless, mostly. He usually buys from his provision shop right in front of our house. One particular afternoon, my mom was the one manning the shop. This man walked over, made some cheeky remark about her dressing. "EI, today you're looking hot," and then touched her shoulder inappropriately while laughing. Now, you need to understand, my mom is not the type to let something like that slide. She speaks her mind. But surprisingly, that day, she didn't say a word. She brushed it off and let him go. Later that week, she kept bringing it up with me, replaying the event, asking herself, how could I, of all people, let that go? What if he thinks I liked it? The more she thought about it, the more it frustrated her. And that frustration, it wasn't about the act anymore. It had become personal, like she had betrayed herself. Fast forward to weeks later. Same man, same shop. My mom was there again, this time on a phone call. He walks up and jokes, "Tell your boyfriend to give you a moment. I want to buy something." Boom. That was it. She went off, blasted him thoroughly, gave him a piece of her mind with no filter. The man stood there helpless, embarrassed, explaining, trying to say it was just a joke. But what he didn't know was that moment was no longer just about the joke. It was everything else behind it. Now let's unpack what really happened here. The first thing to note is that overreaction is rarely about the moment. It's about what came before. In that first encounter, my mom felt violated but silenced herself. She had her reasons she couldn't even fathom. She blamed it on maybe the setting, the man's demeanor, or the fact that it took her by surprise. At one point, she formed the excuse that perhaps it was because she was busy on the phone. But the simple truth is that her mind must have been occupied around the time. She was absent-minded then, but that doesn't mean the mind didn't record the act. The weight of that silence didn't go away. It grew heavier by the day. So when the same man returned with a second inappropriate comment, the response wasn't just to that comment. It was to all the baggage she'd carried from the first. This is how people blow up over small things. Because often, it's not about the thing, it's about the accumulation. Secondly, sometimes we're hoping they trip up again, so we can finally react. We don't talk about this enough. When someone wrongs us and we let it slide, there's a dark part of us that waits. We replay the incident in our heads, thinking of all the clapbacks we should have said. And secretly, even if we tell others that those who wronged us better not offend us again, we hope they mess up again, so we can say it all just like we rehearsed. My mom didn't plan to lose it, but that second moment was exactly the window she'd been waiting for. And she took it, and when they don't trip up again, we transfer the frustration. This is it. Some people never get their second chance to wrong us. So what happens? We carry that unresolved emotion, looking for the next offender, someone who says or does the wrong thing at the wrong time, and they become the new target. They inherit the rage that wasn't meant for them. This is why so many people seem angry for nothing. You don't know what they've stored. You just happen to trigger the release. Next, you should understand that even silence can hurt someone deeply. Let's not pretend that just because someone didn't react, they were okay with what you did. It's like brushing a stranger's car in traffic and assuming everything's cool because they didn't shout. They may not have blasted their horn, but maybe they expected you to look back, check and apologize. When someone reacts, maybe too strongly, don't always rush to match their energy. Pause. Reflect. Could you have done something wrong too? Revisit your recent encounters. You'd be shocked how much tension builds from unacknowledged slights. Now here's the key to dealing with overreaction. Always listen. Don't explain. When someone finally reacts, especially with emotion, don't interrupt them with reasons. You may think it's a joke. You may say, I didn't mean it like that. But intent doesn't erase impact. That man in the story kept trying to defend himself. Oh, it was just a joke. He kept asking, defending himself, questioning whether he had ever behaved in such a way toward my mom. Wrong move. He was trying to wash his hands when someone else was bleeding. In those moments, listen more than you speak. Because even if their reaction seems over the top, their feeling is valid. Finally, you might not know, but everyone is carrying something, even if it's just their ego. We tend to assume people overreact because they're going through trauma, stress, poverty, grief. But sometimes, what they're carrying is pure regret. Regret that they didn't speak up before. Regret that they seemed too soft. Regret that someone thought they could get away with disrespect. Even vanity is a burden. So never assume someone's silence is peace. Sometimes, it's just them deciding when to speak. With everything said, here's my final thought. Overreaction doesn't make someone crazy. It makes them human. And being human means sometimes we explode, not because of the moment, but because of all the moments that came before. So, when next someone overreacts, take a breath. Ask yourself, is this about me? Or could this be bigger? You don't excuse bad behavior, but you also don't fight fire with fire. And if you're the one carrying the fire, take care of it before it burns someone who didn't light the match.